What is up guys, it's Jay-Z here and welcome for another build for Godfall. Today we'll be looking at a new and much stronger build for Phoenix. My goal for this build was to really just have as many explosions go off as possible. Although you will need a very rare weapon, but you can set off up to 3 explosions whenever you kill an enemy. It's a great way for taking out huge crowd of enemies near instantly. It's a very fun build, so let's get right into it. First we'll have a look at the item that will allow us to make the enemies explode. We'll be using the Infinity Fragment charm. So whenever we get a kill on an ignited enemy, the enemy will explode and deal fire damage to nearby enemies. It will also give us the ability to allow our shield throws to inflict ailments, which will come in handy as well. This is the most important item for this build. With that, now let's take a look at the weapons. Since we will not really have fast weapon take charge speed, first we will be going for the Brimtide Cleavers. We will get weapon take charge whenever we inflict an ailment. This is a rare weapon which we will have to enchant and upgrade to a legendary. This is a great weapon to get your weapon charged quickly, and if you have a primal version it will be even better. This weapon has so many advantages for this build, it's actually amazing. Firstly, you can get your weapon take charge easily by using your shield throws to inflict ailments. You can also use polarity to get your weapon take charge super fast, as you can inflict ignite to multiple enemies with it. Then the easiest way to charge weapon take is when you have Archon Fury active, because all your attacks will be mostly inflicting ignite, so you will charge weapon take super fast during Archon Fury. This weapon is one of the reasons why we can get away with not using the Lion's Talisman charm. Although if you have to pay to start with the abilities from the Lion's Talisman and the Infinity Fragment, then certainly use it. Even after playing for months, I am still unlucky to get my hands on one of those. Hopefully one day I will. If you have one of those, then I am super jealous. But at least I have the Lion's Talisman with the God Cycle, so I can't complain. Moving on, for the secondary weapon, we will be using the Fire of Hate. This weapon will add an additional explosion onto the enemy, as it has almost the same perks as the charm. But this has the added bonus of actually spreading the ignite onto the surrounding enemies when they explode. Another weapon you can use is the Epic Greatsword Summertide. This has a similar ability, but it just won't spread the ignite onto the surrounding enemies. In order for the enemy to set off 3 explosions, you will need a Greatsword Eye of the Unknown, with the abilities from both the Fire of Hate as well as Summertide. This can only be found from the Ascended Tower of Trials through chests, so try your best at going through the Greatsword doors and getting your hands at one of these. It may be hard to get, but it will be well worth it when you do. You can tell that an enemy is exploding 3 times. Here is a look at how it looks with 1 explosion, 2 explosions, and 3 explosions. The explosions just keep getting bigger and bigger, and it's much more cooler to see. Other weapons you can use is the Eclipse, as you can add an explosion with your sudden technique as well. If you want more power but willing to sacrifice the weapon technique charge speed, then you can go for the Wanderer's Ambition as well. Make sure on your weapons you have crit chance, and make sure your masterwork trait to give you more crit chance as well, as it will be really important for this build. For the amulet, we will be using the Mark of the Duelist. This will give us health whenever we hit a crit. The charm is the Infinity Fragment. Once again, make sure all your gear pieces have crit chance on them. For the first ring, we will be using the Dust Lord Signet to expose weak points and to get our weapon techniques to inflict ailments. Get one with weak point damage or weapon take damage if possible. For the second ring, we have a lot of choices. If you feel like you need more survivability, then add in the Eye of the Dragon or the Zoe's Embrace. Otherwise, I like to use the Ring of Erudition. This will give you a massive polarity attack charge when you kill with your weapon techniques, and it will also increase the strength of your next polarity attack as well. Since Phoenix's polarity attacks will always inflict ignite, you will be able to make everything explode when you use a polarity. Polarity into your dual blades and you get weapon take charge, and you can go straight into your weapon technique with it as well. Polarity in your greatsword and you can watch all the mayhem happen. One throw from your greatsword and your polarity will be instantly charged, and you can go straight back into your dual blades. For the Lifestone and the banner, we will be keeping it to the Archon's tier and the Mace's bandroll. Now let's take a look at the augments. For the first organ, we will be using the Solar Bliss to greatly increase our ignite power but reduce its duration. Since we'll be constantly inflicting ignite with our dual blades, the duration is really nothing to worry about. Then we have Twilight Bloom to get that really high weapon take damage. Then for the most important augment, it's Paradise. We will get weapon take charge speed whenever we land a critical hit. What's great about this augment is that its weapon take charge will be actually stacking with each critical hit that you make. If you're consistently hitting critical hits, your weapon take charge will go insanely high. Even though it is only for 10 seconds, since we'll be using dual blades, we can hit enemies so many times. For the last might augment, we'll be using Focus to get more overhealth whenever we get critical hits. For our spirit augments, we'll be using Scourge to get shield charge whenever we get a kill. For the second spirit augment, we'll be using Divine Conduit to get Archon Fury charge whenever we get hit. For the vitality augments, we are going for the Force Barrier so we don't get interrupted in our attacks, especially useful since we are using dual blades. For the second vitality augment, we are using Glamour to get bonus damage per element on the enemy. For the last augment, we have Void Shell for bonus overhealth whenever we land a critical hit. Make sure you add Might as your masterwork on Glamour to get the most of Void Shell. On all your Might augments, add in weak point damage or weapon tick damage. On your Spirit augments, add in fire damage. Fire damage will increase the damage of all your explosions as well as your base weapon damage. For your vitality augments, add in overhealth gain so you can easily out-heal the enemy's attacks. Here is a look at the skill tree. Make sure you get the polarity attack so you can use the ability that Phoenix has, which can inflict ignite from polarity. Going fully into takedowns is also great. While having a dual blades weapon take charge active, you can keep using the spectral takedowns to make the enemies explode with that as well. Here is a look at the essential powers in the stat sheet. That's it for the build, guys. It's an amazing build to use and I had most fun with it in Lightbringer. It's a great build to take out all enemies super easily. You don't really have crazy damage against bosses, but it can still kill them super easily as well. In towers, if you get a chance to get prime enemies, you should definitely do so. That way you will get more explosions from everything around you. Biggest thing for this build is to get your crit chance as high as you can. Without it, using the Infinity Fragment alone as your charm may not be the best idea. If you are fine with just the explosions from your greatsword or just want a really strong build overall for Phoenix, then feel free to change your charm to the Lion's Talisman. It will be the better option if you don't have the correct items or stats. Hope you guys enjoyed the build. If you liked the video, be sure to hit that like button as I would greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to see more amazing Godfall builds, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Comment down below what you all think. Do you like all the explosions? I personally am still waiting for the main to start the job with the Infinity Fragment and the Lion's Talisman. Let me know if you have one of those. I will catch you all next time.